Hello everyone, welcome back to another Train Sim World 6 video. Today we're back on the Medway Valley line by Firefly Simulations, checking out one of the freight services that comes with the route. So basically, either you can do an aviation fuel run from Hoo Junction to Tonbridge or vice versa, or you could do an aggregates run up to Allington Aggregates Terminal, and then with Cargo Line Volume 2 HOA wagons. We're doing the former today. We've got a rake... oh, that's the wrong button. We've got a rake of grey VTG Cargo Line Volume 1 TEA tanker wagons on the back. And we have a Freightliner Class 66. I mean, you may be like, wait a minute. The Freightliner Class 66 isn't in the game, and you would be right. This is part of the Class 66 Megapack by SprattyHeath over there on the Train Sim community website. Basically, it adds a ton of new headlight clusters, configurations, liveries, so to the default Class 66. Basically, I was getting extremely annoyed with seeing the DB Schenker or EWS 66s just constantly. Like, yes, I know there are direct rail services and Ocean Network Express sheds in the game, but unfortunately they don't seem to show up a lot of the time on certain routes. So yeah, I decided, what the heck, I might as well download this mod. Might as well download the mod. As you can see, new headlight clusters. That is a custom modification by Spratty. There's, I believe, for this mod to work, I believe you need a railhead treatment train, Southeastern High Speed, West Coast Mainline South, and East Coast Mainline Peterborough to Doncaster. I believe those are the requirements for this mod to work, or for the Class 66 Megapack to work properly. Anyway, we're at Hoo Junction on the Chatham Mainline, and we're running down to Tonbridge via the Medway Valley. Let's get moving here. First of all, safeties. Nope, that's the wrong switch. DSD and TPW, AWS and TPWS. And reverser. Oh, let's get the wipers going. 25% should be enough. I've used the light rain preset today. Yeah. This mod, the mod is being updated every so often, the Megapack. So yeah, as you can see, we have a default EWS 66 on the back. So yeah. And we also, yeah, as you can see, the new headlight cluster works. And pretty nicely, I must say. That is a pretty cool looking, those are some pretty cool looking headlights. The fact that one guy was able to do this in the PC editor for this game is pretty cool. Oh, I need to do brake timing because a lot of the time, like now, they've used passenger timing for whatever reason. Oh, let's get the automatic brake off. I tend to use direct brake a lot of the time in the shed. And I basically, one of the reasons why I got the Megapack mod, even though I don't get like radically game-changing mods all that often, is that the default Class 66 is like the two really common default Class 66s are the DB one, DB/DB Schenker, or EWS. And they just show up constantly, and it was driving me literally insane. And yeah, I wanted a bit of, you know, variety. What are we waiting for, actually? Because yeah, Hoo Junction. Hello, St Pancras to Faversham. You are a 395. We're just about to pass the signal tunnel, so. We do have a Rainham to Luton service approaching too. Oh, hello. We have to get overtaken. Why are we on this track? Huh. Maybe we just came off the branch that goes off at Hoo Junction. I honestly don't know where this little branch line goes to. I think we have to wait for that Class 700 to make its way down. Just make sure everything's running properly. Banking com is on. Of course, no working GSMR. The only British train for which the GSMR works is the Class 375 that's included with this route. I would love to see it added to more units, of course. But, yeah. We'll see. Green signal. Reverse forward. Let's just do notch 1 since we do have quite a long... Okay. Banking com is working. Speed. Alright, easy does it. We don't want to... Let's actually put the sander on because we do have some pretty... some rain coming down and I imagine the tracks are wet. Notch 2. We can only go up to 20 miles an hour because we have to change tracks onto the down line because we're heading away from London. Just have to be careful with the old speed. I think I'll keep it notch 3 for now. I like the shed. Like, it's a decent unit. It's just a bit boring. It's well modeled in this game, but why can't we have something different? I know all aboard are working on a Freightliner Class 70, and Alan Thompson has their awful, absolutely awful Class 90 that they've released, which they've done absolutely nothing to fix in the month that it's been out, by the way. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we got a Freightliner Class 66, you know, gameplay pack. Like, that, that'd honestly make sense for Dovetail to do something like that. Thing is, though, the sounds on the shed in the game are taken off the original Armstrong Powerhouse Class 66 Enhancement Pack in TS Classic. Armstrong Powerhouse have actually done a Class 66 version 2 Enhancement Pack for TS Classic and taken the original off sale, but this one in Trains and World still uses the sounds from the original Enhancement Pack, so why couldn't we get something like an update along with the Freightliner Class 66? Why couldn't we get something like the sounds from the Enhancement Pack 2.0? That'd be pretty interesting. Just got to get out of the way of the Thames Link. Clear up to 45. Let's go notch 4. Yeah, I think we are only clear up to 45 today, so honestly, why I turned on the high speed switch is probably... Yeah. So that's my AWS sunflower indicator. Okie dokie. So yeah, we basically got to trail that 395 as far as Strood, and then we have to change... And then we have to go around the curve into Strood at 15, and then we're direct onto the Medway Valley. So yeah, what's the go via? Oh, it's at the the go via is at the bottom of Medway. I think we might be heading into Tonbridge West Yard, but don't quote me on that. So yeah, there's a ton of liveries included in the Megapack. Advenza, Freight, Direct Rail services, both old and new, Freightliner, Colas Rail, GBRf, including a special British Rail style GBRf livery. Right, speed. Okay, I think we are clear up to notch 8. Here we go. Let's honestly turn down the wipers. See if, like, we can turn them down a bit. Changing from, I think when revs go down to 0, I think that's the series parallel changeover, but don't quote me on that. Coming up on Higham. Yeah, I still, if you're wondering about my progress on the mastery, I still haven't Still haven't completed the mastery for Medway yet. I'm wanting to see Grumpus at Maidstone West, but unfortunately I still have a couple more services to do before Grumpus shows up. Passing through Higham here. Put it like notch 4 for now. And yeah, let's do the fly past shot since we're going into a tunnel. Turn off the wipers since we are going to be in a tunnel for the next 2 miles-ish. Yeah. I'm not really like enthusiastic about the cargo line packs. If anything, I think cargo line volume 4 military is the best one. But yeah, I still think that Skyhook did a decent job, and they've got volume 6 on the go. As of recording this video, cargo line volume 6 is in development, and it looks as though it'll be VTG gas tankers, but what makes it... You'll be thinking, oh, what makes it different from cargo line volume 1 then? Well, this cargo line pack is going to be in Germany. And from the one screenshot Skyhook has shared, it looks like it's going to be on the Feldsischer Ludwigsbahn, Mannheim Kaiserslautern. So I don't know if I'll pick it up because I don't like the Feldsischer Ludwigsbahn, and I've never wanted to pick it up, you know? Like, even when it went 80% off a few sales back, I still refused to pick it up because of just how bad it is. Like, mind you, the scenery seems to be good, but unfortunately, the Dovetail had the gall to put the wrong Ice 3 in the pack and call it a day. They put the Ice 3M in the pack with Feldsischer Ludwigsbahn, but what was really insane about it was the Ice 3M wasn't even used on the Mannheim Kaiserslautern. It was the Ice 3 MF, which is the version of the Ice 3M with French safety systems. As to why Dovetail decided to not put the effort in is beyond me. Let's actually start putting on a tad of brakes, because we are coming up on that 15... Oh boy, we are really coming up on that 15 limit. Snuck up on me. Oopsie. Okay, I should probably start releasing the brakes now, because otherwise we'll come to a stop. Sheds don't like having a lot of brakes applied. They try to come to a stop really quickly. Let's apply some throttle and try to stop us from slowing down too much. I think... Oh. Well, that had precisely no effect. Oh, that's the cap light. That's not the automatic brake release button. Gotta wait for the brakes to release. Sorry about that. Might have heard something in the background. Notch 1. There we go. We're off. Is the rear of the train in a tunnel? Yes, it is. Like, yeah. I like the shed in-game. I think it has decent sounds, decent modelling, all of that. But it's just way too overused. The Freightliner Class 70 honestly can't come soon enough. What I'm a bit worried about, though, with the Class 70 is, where will it substitute? Like, the Class 90 substituted in on... only substitutes in like 10 services on its own timetable on West Coast Mainline South and nowhere else. Like, I'm really, like, I will only get the class 90 if if all aboard manages to get it to layer everywhere, a bit like the Vectron did. If you remember when the Vectron came out, it layers basically everywhere else that German freight does, modern German freighter, electric freighters do in game. So, yeah. 12 miles an hour coming to Strood. And thanks to the Great Western Express and East Coastway remasters, the Great Western Express and East Coastway Class 66s now are up to modern standards with dynamic suspension and the AP sounds instead of the Class 60. Like, the Great Western Express and East Coastway sheds used to have the sounds from the Train Sim Classic Class 66 because Dovetail didn't have the licensing for the AP sounds. Notch 4 on the go. So yeah, we're basically at 15 until we go onto the Medway. That's the line coming in from Victoria. That's the 45 board. Despite the fact that passenger trains are allowed to go up to 70, we will not be. We will be limited to 45 miles an hour, unfortunately. Which is somewhat sad. How long till... Oh, wow. Okay. Forgot how long our train was. Basically, we'll be clear up to 45 soon, I hope. A bunch of boats in the harbour there. Basically, be following the Medway for most of our trip today on the Medway. Okay, the windscreen effect is appearing. I thought it disappeared for a minute. Let's give it notch 5. Up to 45 miles an hour. Okay. Notch 6, here we go. There are a couple of places where we have to slow down, unfortunately. I believe the speed limit for Yielding is 20 miles an hour due to the unique level crossing which is there, so yeah. Notch 7. Ooh, we are pushing that ammeter nearly in the red, but yeah. Still in the green, so I'll take it. Turn the sander off. We're now moving at a reasonable speed. Hopefully I don't do what I did coming into Strood and use too much automatic brake. I don't like the automatic brake on the shed. It takes way too long to release. Wish the wipers on the shed also had an intermittent setting. This is the minimum speed that they can go, and they're going way too fast for the small amount of rain. Right, notch 8. Nice. We're now finally beginning to pick up speed. Yeah, we'll be limited to 45 at our maximum speed. And then from Paddockwood to Tonbridge we have just a constant uphill grade of about 1%, so that'll be interesting. $35 miles an hour. Pretty nice. What's this bridge used for? That's for a road. I do love how well optimized Medway is. Apart from a stutter here and there, you're basically if you don't have too long a train, you're running at like 60 FPS constantly. Because we've just got because we've got a lot of wagons and diesel exhausts rendered, it's definitely lowered our frame rate. We're running at about 47. Oh boy. Didn't notice we were overrunning our speed limit. There's the motorway and the Medway viaduct for the high-speed trains. You can see javelins zooming across there occasionally, but yeah. I don't really like to drive high-speed 1 in-game because, well, there's no Eurostars at all. And just seeing javelins on the Channel Tunnel rail link is just unrealistic. Like, if we could get an extension of Southeastern High Speed, I know there's already been one extension, but if we could get another extension or we could get like not an extension of Southeastern High Speed. Make a new route, recycle the bit from St Pancras to Ashford on the Channel Tunnel rail link, not anything else, and then extend that portion of Southeast of High Speed 1, sorry, that we already had, and extend it all the way to Lille in France. That would make for a cross-border route, and then you could also add the class 373 and 374 Eurostars. Though, honestly, I doubt that that's ever going to happen. But if you want to, on the back, if you have Train Sim Classic, I believe backdated Train Sim has a Ashford to Lille route, complete with a class 373 Eurostar. But that's only for TS Classic, sadly, and it's available for free because otherwise it would violate copyright. I believe it was originally sold, and then backdated Train Sim had to make it free because otherwise it was violating copyright. Oh, first of long line of whistleboards today. Yeah, motoring. Gated crossing. Honestly, if we were going to get, I like the class 70. I think its ugliness is like its main like attraction for me. But honestly, I would say if we could get like a rail operations group class 93, like one of them, well, or a Great British Rail Freight class 99, like complete with realistic bi or tri-mode operations depending on which one you were doing, that'd be pretty cool. Like, genuinely. Like, we don't have any bi-mode, we don't have any like of the modern UK freighters. Let's be honest, the shed's getting a bit long in the tooth now. I'm not doing my horn before the platform because the next train because the Medway actually does the next train passing through platform something doesn't stop here. Please stand back for the platform edge like the rail station would do. miles an hour. 12 miles to our go via, but that's in a straight line, remember, because Train Sim World for some reason calculates distances, go via distances. Right, let's see. Can we get a good shot with the 375 in the background? I think we might. Let's actually adjust that a bit. Adjust. Yes. That's good. It's nice to... How long is our train, actually? I want to have a look. 405 yards. Yeah. That's definitely quite big. For UK train, for UK freight train, it's definitely long. Most of the freight trains on this that you could play on this route seem to be either top and tail locomotive with 2 locomotives, or double header 2 locomotives, or well, and then there's some light loco runs with just 1 locomotive, of course. But yeah, all of the ones with cargo wagons seem to have seem to have 2 locomotives rather than 1, which is quite interesting. Miles to go. Coming up on Snodland, my favourite station name on the whole route. See if we can see the Snodland station sign. Yes, there it is. Why is there such a gratuitous, conspicuous gratuitous sign there? Very interesting. I love how many whistle boards the Medway has. So entertaining. Under 10 miles to the go via, but yeah, basically that's from there to there, not there, and then all the way around there, because we have to go via Maidstone, and we have to follow the course of the river, and it's obviously not a straight line. At least you haven't come up on any lower speed limits yet. That's good. Gated crossing. There are quite a number of gated crossings on this route. Not as, far more than I expected, but yeah, that's probably due to the number of passenger train. Oh, hello. Why did my AWS just go off? Okay, we do have a warning board. 35 miles an hour. Uh-oh. Where is that? Here is whatever the station is. I can't remember the name. Probably start slowing down for that 35, honestly. So I'll get the direct brake on the job, which hopefully will start slowing us down gradually enough without having to use the automatic brake, because I don't want to use the automatic brake if I can avoid it. If you're wondering, also viewers, a bit of an update. Actually, I want to look this up. My phone next to me, so I want to look something up. Alright, let's keep it slowed down. There's the DHL facility. There's one of the 2 DHL logistics hubs on the route. Ooh, that wasn't marked on the track monitor. That speed limit was not marked on the track monitor, but we made it just in time. Good thing I was paying attention. Oh boy. So yeah, it's not marked. That's one of the only bugs that I've come across on this route so far, to be fair. Definitely makes it annoying to operate freight trains, because if only the passenger speed limit changes are the ones shown on the track monitor, then it definitely gets a bit dicey. turn. Is that a little church over there? Nice. Need to keep an eye on the speed limits. If they're not going to show up on the HUD, then I need to keep my eye out. Okay, so I've just had a look at my Amazon order for my new Wi-Fi chip for my computer. It's on the Amazon app. It's halfway between dispatched and out for delivery, and it's arriving on the 23rd. So that's well over a week until that arrives. Almost just over a week, I should say. That's really, really annoying. Back up to 45. You're just a whistleboard, you're not a speed limit. Coming up on Allington Aggregates Terminal. So yeah. My next video, I hope, will be taking out the shed again, but I'll see if I can put it in the GBRf livery that's included with the SprattyHeath pack. And I'll do a run from Tonbridge up to here at Allington, and I'll then unload the aggregates, which you can do. It's like a two-party. First part, you bring the train in from Tonbridge. Second part, you unload it here, which is pretty cool. As well as the double headers, both EWS, of course. There's some HOAs on the back. Relatively steep hill we're going up, so I'll keep it in notch 6 for now. We're actually losing speed. 8.8 miles to go. I know for certain we have one other speed limit decrease at Yielding for the level crossing. You have to go down to 20. Hopefully that's something Firefly can fix, getting the speed limits right for the speed limits to show up on the track monitor, because I know for certain the HUD is showing the correct speed limit for the freight trains, so why isn't the track monitor showing it correctly? Anyway, it's just one of those things, I suppose. A warning board for an upcoming speed limit. That is a 30 limit. Okie dokie. Had a tad of automatic brake just to slow us down. Okay, oh, that's the 30 through Maidstone West, isn't it? We're coming up on Maidstone Barracks now. So yeah, this speed limit decrease shows up because, yeah, it's just a bit annoying. Maidstone Barracks. Alright, let's just make sure we get down to 30. You do want to take your time with the brakes on this thing. Yeah, when you have a really long freight train like this, you want to take your time and do things right. Honestly, one thing that I really enjoyed was that I do still enjoy sometimes doing is taking out an American freight train in Train Sim World, because you basically have to manage this huge freight train, dynamic brakes, automatic, etc. Just have begun to get a bit bored with running on Cajon Pass, Sherman Hill, or Clinchfield, which are the three that I have. And yeah, I'm not really touching San Bernardino, Antelope Valley. I don't really like either of those routes. They do have freight on them, but yeah. So if we have a look, This is where Grumpus would be right here, but yeah, obviously he's not showing up. Anyway, yeah, just really would love to. I just would like to have another US freight route that isn't made by Dovetail Games. But I just don't. I know Horseshoe Curve's not that good, but I'm really uncertain about Cane Creek. That's another Skyhook Games one. Nice to see the third rail sparks of the 375. Very nice. Back up to 45 in a minute. And yeah, I know that. And then there's that Southern Pacific Hayden Branch route that High Iron Sim are doing, but given their very mixed reputation in TS Classic and the absolute abomination that the Santa Fe on Cajon Pass pack turned out to be, I'm very pessimistic about how the Hayden Branch will turn out. But it's set in the But Hayden Branch does have a lot going for it. It's set in the 1980s, making it only the second American 20th century freight route. It's going to have a new locomotive, the Southern Pacific GP35 freight locomotive, and it's also going to have some new wagons too, which I can't remember what they are. I think it's going to be like. Since it's like the whole theme of the route is copper mining, I think it's going to have a special wagon to carry the anodes and diodes, which if you remember your high school or middle school chemistry, you're definitely going to know what an anode and diode is for copper. And then also like wagons to carry not bauxite, I'm thinking of aluminium. No, bauxite's for aluminum. Do have a 40 limit coming up, so we'll just keep an eye on that. So yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic, but I'm also very pessimistic about the Hayden Branch, if that makes any sense. Like, I want to see it do well, but I'm cautious that High Iron can pull it off given their less than stellar reputation. Like, if this Hayden Branch turns out well, I'll probably get it. Maybe on release, I don't know. On release, actually no. On release, I highly doubt it, but maybe on a sale, who knows. 6.4 miles to go via Paddock Wood. Where are we? Okay, we're down here. I can never remember what these stations are called when I'm not doing a passenger run. Yeah, I'm just a bit, you know, I'm just a bit sad that High Iron seems to be the only American third party making a legitimate route. I know that there's two modders making routes in the game. Back up to 45 in a minute. I know there's Spacey Cat is working on a Amtrak P42 DC, which is certainly needed. It would layer on a ton of routes, everything from Horseshoe Curve to Sandpatch Grade to Cajon Pass, and also Amtrak Superliner coaches, double-decker Superliner coaches as well. I haven't heard about that project in ages, so hopefully that's coming along well. And then there's also another chap making a Lake Charles, Missouri to Houston, Texas, I think? Like a huge 120-mile long American freight route, complete with BNSF and Union Pacific lines. Which is nuts. Like, that's 120 miles being made by one bloke in his spare time is insane. I think the route's strong point would definitely be the route itself, and unfortunately there wouldn't be any new stock included, but I'm fine with that. Like, that basically you could do like Run 8 style end-to-end runs. In Run 8, which is like an American freight sim, you could do like runs for like 12 hours. You could, I believe a friend of mine once told me that you could do like 12-hour runs from the all the way from like end to end of the entire Cajon Pass, not just like the little section we get in Train Sim World, but the entire Cajon Pass. And it sounds like we'll be able to do something similar with this route that this modder is working on, but we will have to see how that route eventually turns out, and I imagine it will take years to get all the scenery done, especially if you're working in your spare time. So we'll just have to see how the Hayden branch turns out. If the Hayden branch turns out well, I'll get it. If it doesn't turn out well, I won't get it until it's fixed. I don't think I'll ever get Santa Fe on Cajon Pass, for one thing, because it's the wrong time period. The Cajon Pass route is set in the modern era, BNSF Orange era, and this Santa Fe pack makes it, what's the word I want? Makes it, like it was in the 1990s with Santa Fe running everywhere, and yeah, that's just not realistic for the route's time period. Yeah, I just want to see. I want to see the. I want to see the Hayden branch turned out well, but I'm not too hopeful about it. Also, looking forward to Lisbon Setúbal, which is the route that Virtua via 360 are working on in Portugal. It's going to be pretty short, only around 30 kilometers long, and it'll only take like half an hour to do a full run of the route. But it's going to be the first route in Iberia, first Iberian broad gauge route. It'll have first time Vertigus will be seen in the game. Yes, Vertigus gave Virtua via 360 an official license to do this, and yeah, it just seems as though it definitely looks decent. But I don't know if I'll pick it up because, yeah, I just want to see how the route turns out. The screenshots from the route look nice, but I want to see the route, like, actually, once people have got their hands on it, you know? And it doesn't look as though the route will come out anyway until Train Sim World 7 at least, along with the Hayden branch. That looks like it'll be another TSW7 route. Well, everything in the 0 to 3 months category is probably going to come before TSW7. So, like, Neuenberg, Ingolstadt, Thames Valley, Tadami. Like, Thames Valley and Tadami are the two routes that I've been waiting for and hoping for ever since I got Train Sim World all the way back in March 2023. Like, Tadami, first Japanese route in the game. Beautiful countryside of Fukushima. Nowhere near the exclusion zone, by the way. Fukushima is a large prefecture, so basically Tadami is in western Fukushima, and the exclusion zone is on the east side on the coast. So yeah. Yeah. Tadami will also have a Kiha 40 diesel rail car, which I've seen and videoed in real life, which are on not one but two of my local lines in Japan, which is pretty cool. Thames Valley branches will have a GWER Class 165, which I'm quite a fan of. I like them. And even more crucially, Thames Valley will, Johannes Hartmann, the guy behind Incredible Trains, will actually update the Class 165 from its Great Western Express counterpart to have the correct details and interior that the real one has. And then, on top of that, the Thames Valley will have 3 of the Thames Valley branches, namely to Windsor and Eton Central, Slough and Marlow. I'm quite a prolific user of the Marlow branch whenever I'm in the UK, and it's my favourite rail line in Britain. Very picturesque. And not only that, Johannes is going to simulate the route's real-life token system, because it's one of the few lines left in the UK which actually uses an old-fashioned token system, which is very cool. And yeah, like, the Marlow branch is literally my favourite. Oh, 20 limit. Oh, what? I missed the sign. Whoopsie daisy. It didn't show up on the track monitor. Good job. We're going to blast through this section, I feel. Sorry, everyone. I do apologize. Hang on, Mojo. We need to get the brakes off, otherwise we'll come to a stop way too late. That comes with not paying attention, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't blown through one like that in a while. Stop slowing down, come on. Why are we... The brakes aren't on. Why are we still slowing down? Sanding stick. There we go. Yeah. Oopsie. We totally blew through that sign. I think Firefly definitely needs to fix that. Totally forgot about the lower limit at Yolding. Didn't see it was till it was too late. Yeah. Hopefully Firefly does fix that bug with the track monitor. With freight trains, because with passenger trains, of course, it's fine. But with freight trains, yeah, it just doesn't show up on the track monitor. The only other route which doesn't show up speed limits on the track monitor, speed limit changes, I should say, on the track monitor is Cajon Pass. Yeah, otherwise, these two routes are completely unrelated. Alright, whistle board. So, yeah. But at least I do know that for next time, so the speed limit, major speed limit changes you need to know about are at Strood, Maidstone and Yolding, and then Paddockwood when you're heading onto the southeastern main line. Good to know for the future. We'll be going through Beltring in a moment. I think that siding goes to that cement works on the right. I don't know if any freight trains actually go down there. Please do let me know in the comments if any trains actually go down that line. Down that short little branch. Coming up on our last crossing over the Medway. Two miles to go till Paddockwood. Last crossing over the Medway. Coming up, beginning almost to Beltring. Right, I just need to keep an eye out for those speed limit change signs. But I'm learning, viewers. This test run will help me out later with speed limit changes. Alright, coming up Beltring. Which has a narrow platform, so sound the horn. Beltring. Sheep on the right hand side. Yeah, I'm just a bit sad. Basically, my point with talking about the hated branch is I'm just really sad that the American players in this game keep getting shafted. Well, and though mind you, Morristown was decent. Like, genuinely, I think it's my favorite American route in the game, especially with the Arrow 3, the New Jersey Transit Arrow 3. Absolutely, really decent route. And then, yeah, New York Stamford, well, not going all the way to New Haven, it does have the it has the Kawasaki M8, which is very similar to a lot of Japanese units, like to the point where the motors sound borderline identical. Sounds brilliant. The M8 does sound nice. Do a little bit of automatic brake, so I do see that go via. Just have to do it incredibly carefully. Basically have to Sorry, I had to do an elaborate horn for that one. Right, let's release the automatic brake. Because, yeah, we're slowing down decently. You just have to be very, very careful of the automatic brake in the shed. It's very annoying with how long it takes to release itself. There's the other DHL logistics facility. Where's that signal? I think it's just around that corner. We will see. Let's keep it 19 miles an hour for now. There it is. I think I see it. Yeah, there it is. Right. I think I might have stopped too early. I think I have to do the go via because otherwise the signal doesn't change. I think I stopped a bit too early. I forgot that the go via means that the signal doesn't change until I get up close to it. Ugh. Come on, buddy. Just have to cover 20 yards. Go up to like 5 miles an hour and then cut the power just in case the signal doesn't change as I expect it to. And it's a go via, which means we don't have to stop, which is good. There we go. Yep, as I thought. 5.5 miles to Tonbridge. This has basically just been like a, like a training run, getting to know the route because I've been doing passenger operations on this line the entire time. I haven't done a freight train on it yet, which means that I'm very much out of practice with the shed as I haven't driven it in a while, and the route isn't showing up speed limit changes for freight trains on the track monitor, which is very, very annoying, and I don't know why that's not happening. Paddock Wood coming up. It's notch 4. Have we got a stuck 375 behind us? Okay, that's the other. No, we haven't. Wood, and now we're basically just have to wait until the 25 limit turns off, and then we're basically straight and direct all the way to Tonbridge. So wait a minute, where does it want us to stop? Oh, it wants us to stop at one of the bypass lines through Tonbridge, and not in Tonbridge West Yard as I thought. Okie dokie. We're stuck at 40 until hopefully we can go up to a decent speed. Ooh, we can go up to 90. What? I think we can go up to 75 because that's the maximum limit of the shed. Notch 8, here we go. Almost time to cross the tracks. 5 miles to go. Let's just watch the rear one come across. Thank goodness for banking cone. Without 2 locomotives, this would be a pain. Oh, we're limited. What? We're limited to 60? Come on, devs. Oh, I think it's because we have such a long train. I think we're limited to... No. Aren't these TEAs limited to 60? So, doesn't look as though Yeah, I think the TAs do limit us to 60 miles an hour. And since we're on a very gentle but still annoying 0.1% upward gradient all the way to Tonbridge, I don't know if we'll be able to make it hold at 60 for long. We've barely made 40 miles an hour. On another personal note, viewers, for the first time my trip to the UK, I'm actually having fish and chips today, which is very nice. Can't get more British than that. Driving a shed, and then once I'm finished, having fish and chips. Like, you can't get more British than that. It's just so funny that they call this thing the shed. I love the... Anyway, yeah. Some of the nicknames that the British have come up with for their trains is just downright funny. Like, some of them are cultural references. Like, for example, the Class 99, the new Stadler built bi-mode locomotive that GBRf just put into service last year. They're called the Flake, but you might be thinking, why would they call it a flake? It doesn't look like a flake. It's because ice cream vans in the UK have this ice cream called the 99 Flake. It's a ice cream with a cone, and then it has a stick of chocolate in it, which is the flake. So, like, the 99 Flake is like part of culture here. And so with it, since they had the Class 99, the GBRf just said, right, we'll just call it the Flake, which is really funny. And I do like how it's called the Flake. This big, mean-looking locomotive, which is the most powerful locomotive that's ever been put on the UK railway network, and they call it the Flake, which is very funny. And some of the nicknames are just if you think about it, like, well done, guys. That was very imaginative of you. Like the Class 43, they called it the HST. HST standing for High Speed Train. Yeah, guys, very imaginative. Anyway, enough of me waffling about UK train names. Notch 6, see if that does it. Doing 58 miles an hour with 2 miles to go. Also, if you're wondering, a lot of the TEAs can be different colors. The ones for Cargo Line Volume 1 anyway. They can be, most of them could be different. They could be like red, blue, green, grey. But, yeah, the ones on this route, if you fire up an aviation fuel service on this line, they are always going to be grey. Just saying. Double yellow. Start slowing down for that 30 limit. Give it a tad of automatic brake as we are coming in quite quickly. Turn sanding stick on just to help with braking. 50 limit warning board. I'm watching that 30 limit board. Just keep the speed in check for now, because we don't want to zoom through that red signal if we can avoid it. 900 yards to go. There's the training center on the left. Alright, nearly here is Tonbridge. pair of 375s waiting at Tonbridge. Yards to go. Oh no. No, 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 no. I don't want to stop early. There we go. Oh, that's over rev. Don't want to do that. Okay, there we go. We did stop. I'm trying to get as close to a stop as I can, to the signal as I can. Stop, please. Stop. Stop! Ooh, pretty close. That was a bit dicey how close we were to the signal. Lost 292 points to speeding. Oof. Yeah, I'm not surprised. We still got a platinum medal though, surprisingly, despite our complete overspeed at yielding. So yeah, that'll be all for this video, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell if you are subscribed to make sure you don't miss another video. And if you want to go the extra mile towards supporting me, please do become a channel member. It really does help me out, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.